Hello students, welcome in this online session of English where I'm going to teach you a very special lesson, part 2. In the part 1 we have learned about how Evelyn Glennie was used to make her body work with the music and to listen the music by her body, upper body and the lower body. Now that lesson consists of the second part related with the Ustad Bismillah Khan, that is a Sehnai Wadak. Now if we talk about Ustad Bismillah Khan, he was a personality and we can say that he'll be always remembered that how gracefully he played all the music related to the Shehnai. Also he gave a turn with the Pungi and made it Sehnai. Now if you go more further with the story deals with the music and every romanticism of the music, in which you will also learn that how nicely and how gracefully we can derive ourselves very well. And if you are being handicapped, then also you can go more further, as I have made you to understand in the part first of Evelyn, that though she is handicapped, then also she is listening the music and she can decode the music and she can repeat it also on the drum beats, and also she can go with that. So that is the basic example which I am actually trying to make you understand here. Now let's start with the lesson here. I'll make you understand the introduction, concept, character and the story. The character himself is Ustad Bismillah Khan, and the story starts with Emperor Aurangzeb. Now let's start with that. Aurangzeb banned playing of musical instrument called Pungi in the royal residence. Why? Because the sound was not proper of that. The sound was so disturbing, distracting the human brain. It had a shrill, unprecise sound. You know, sometimes what is happening when there is a Pungi. I will make you draw and understand. When there is Pungi, somehow it can be not easily giving the sound, and it is generally used by the snake charmers, like the snake charmer, they use this thing. So it was also not used properly in the royal court, because the kings and queen used to listen the music, but it was not proper, it was not giving a pleasant sound, so they banned this kinds of thing here. Pungi became the generic name for the reed noise maker also, and whenever anybody is making noise we will call him Pungi, because it was just like a noise maker. But here the Ustad Bismillah Khan plays a very vital role, transformation of this music from Pungi to the Shehnai. So we can say that few had thought that it would be one of the revived, it can be revived, means it can be restructured, but they failed out. So here if you talk about a barber family, a family of a barber from which a man is belonging to, you need to listen carefully because we are going to transform this story into a very better way. So now a barber of the family, professionally working for the music or the musicians who had access to the royal court. Access means he was going to the royal court. He placed something with the Pungi, and what happened? He generally chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem, means he chose a pipe same like that. And then he chose the pipe with a natural flow of the volume also, and therefore he made 7 holes. How many holes? He made around 7 holes. Now making 7 holes, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, according to that, okay, 7 holes he made inside that kind of pipe. And furthermore he broadened the Pungi, means he attached that pipe to the Pungi and he broadened and made 7 holes, and with the body pipe he also made some of the transformation, means he changed that, modified that. And laterly when he played it out, closing one with the another, some holes, the melodious sound came out from this kinds of object, means he was doing an experiment. So while doing the experiment he also thought that it should be the better experiment, and then he started to work on that. See, whenever you think to change anything, you are a responsible person to change that thing, and you can do it also. Therefore he also did the same thing here, and after that he would thought that one day he can become a best player of that Pungi, but it needs a Shehnai. So now here, see, naturally the hollow stem of the pipe with the Pungi made some good noise, and they were somehow focused directly over to the listener's ear, and also they played very softly, choosing one to the another, closing the melodious sound. So laterally what happened after that, the Pungi was somehow prepared well in the structure of Sehnai, and laterally it was also used in the small ceremonies. After that what happened, when it was transformed from Pungi to Sehnai, means now the name was not given as a Sehnai. until unless the main person is not coming in the story. So here he plays the instrument hole by hole. He plays the instrument before the royal court, and everyone was impressed by that, because it was giving a pleasant sound, not like the pungi, it was giving a generally a pleasant sound. So he instrumentally impressed everyone after giving the structure to the new one, to the pungi. So this was the old structure, he transformed into the new one. And laterly what happened here, as the glory goes, as the story goes, as the familiar people become with this pungi, they started to trust on that with the music also. And it was firstly played in the Shah Alam's chamber. So it was given name as Shah, okay, and Nai means the barber, means Shah, from where it was generally played at the royal court. And who made that? It was made by a Nai, means the barber. That's why its name is Shah Nai. So if you go more further, Nai means the barber, as I said, and Shah means where the court was there and it was played out. So this is the theory about the pungi turning into the shehnai and how it changed its life, and that barber changed the life of pungi, or we can say a whole new instrument he introduced in the music era. So he played that thing here and it became shehnai. You can see in your page number also the difference between pungi and the difference between the shehnai. It will also show you this kinds of factorized detail inside the figurative way in your textbook. So now the sound of shehnai began, considered to be one of the very auspicious in the marriage ceremony, in the rituals, and in the many more things. It became auspicious. Auspicious means very special, pure. And literally, for the reason it's still played now also in the ceremonies of northern Indian music wedding, or we can say that inside the normal or general, like all Indian music wedding also it is played out. So pungi was one of the part of Naubat. Now what is the Naubat? Let me define you here. It's actually a part and a class of music where some of the high class of the musicians along with the high class of the music instruments are somehow played in the traditional way, in the assembly, in the traditional Naubat assembly. So therefore now the life of pungi has changed into the life of respected shehnai. So going further here, in the North Indian music, it is also added in the especially the auspicious ceremony of the marriages and the relationship building and many more things here. So it was used only in the temples at that time and the weddings also. But slowly the credit goes more there, and bringing into the instrumental on the classical stage, some artisans also came forward. So it is now going to the Ustad Bismillah Khan. So he was actually at that time pioneer to play this pungi into the shehnai, and now shehnai was generally built out in a new form of the body, where they also came to know that this kinds of instrument can be also one of the very rhythmic instrument which can connect us to the God, with the spiritual world, with the supernatural power also, and we can feel all the aesthetic belief in us whenever we are reciting the prayers or whenever we are reciting our hymns or the ragas. So therefore, as the story goes more forward, Ustad Bismillah Khan holded the good grip over the pungi. So as the 5-year-old Bismillah Khan played pungi, he was playing actually pungi after that, but before he was playing the gille and danda. But after some kinds of experimental belief, and you can say some kinds of incident in his life, he directly turned his life into the musical way, and he sat with his one of the uncle, and he always started to repeat whatever he taught him at the near Ganga river, where he also learned the music. So actually this is the introduction about the chapter, my dear students. In the other lecture we will study about the detailed theory. Today this lecture is only about the introduction. Next lecture we will see how and why, in which grade Bismillah Khan was nobilized and he was awarded also, and where the pungi is taking on the height of the music with the rhythm. So you keep revising, and we'll meet in the next lecture. Till then you can take care and also keep searching over the Google for the best examples.